Hi y'all. So I'm here today because I wanted to talk about the movie The Girl with All the Gifts. Let's get into it, shall we? So I guess this is a talk about something like a little bit of a review of this movie, The Girl with All the Gifts. I saw like a Twitter, what do you call those, where people like talk about stuff the night something releases or something comes out. I don't know, so like a Twitter stream on our blog page about this movie. Of course, The Girl with All the Gifts. And it's based on this book written by M.R. Carey. Yeah, Mike Carey. And I actually went on IBDM, and actually the screenplay is actually written by him as well for the movie. The movie was released in 2016. The book, I believe, was released in 2014. So the movie itself is based on the book title, same name, Girl with All the Gifts. Like I said, I saw like a Twitter stream going on. I follow a group on Twitter, Black Girl Horror Writers, or something to that effect. I think that's the name of it. It's something with black girls and horror in the Twitter name. And they were doing like this Twitter conversation about the movie. They were watching the movie last night, and they were doing a Twitter conversation about it. I have never read the book. Now, actually, one of my blogger friends, Monica, I do believe she read the book as well. I do believe she read the book and reviewed it. I gotta go back to her blog and check, but I do believe she read and reviewed the book. So I heard about the book, but I did not know that a movie was actually released for the book as well. But anyway, so this movie, when I saw this Twitter stream, I found the movie on Amazon Prime. I'm an Amazon Prime member, and right now it's streaming for free for Prime members on Amazon. So that's how I got to watch it. I don't know if it's on any other streaming services like Netflix, Hulu. I don't know. I did not go back and check. I don't know. But I caught it on Amazon, so that you know. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch the movie there. And if you want to check the other streaming services to see if they have it, have at it. But I wanted to talk about this movie because it was so good. And I did not hear about this movie when it came out. I don't know if it I don't know if it was just released in London, because the movie was made and based in London. So I don't know if it was just released in London. I don't know if it was released worldwide. I don't know. But it is a very good movie, and it should be talked about because it is good. Like I said, I did not read the book, so I don't know if the movie is closely related to the book. I don't know, but if it is, damn good job. Because if the dude that wrote the book did the screenplay, then I'm 100% believing and 100% sure that this movie and book are closely related. Because sometimes you get movies that are based on books and it's so far out there, you're just like, if you read the book, you're just like, what is going on? Anyway, but this movie is really good. So this movie is based around this little girl. Her name is Melanie, and the movie is based around her and this zombie outbreak that goes on in London. And there are these children. Melanie is one of these children. They're like special children, and somehow, some way, these children were able to survive turning full zombie. And they are being experimented on this army base that has like these survivors, and they're being experimented on by this doctor that's played by Glenn Close. I can't remember the doctor's name. I'm on IBDM, so let me go down to the character's name and figure out her name, because like I said, I didn't. Glenn Close, she plays Dr. Caldwell, and her character, Dr. Caldwell, Glenn Close character, is actually, she's on the base to try to find a cure for this outbreak that is in London. And she notices, like throughout the movie, she notices that Melanie, played by, let me see, Sania Nanua, Sania Nanua. This little black girl was so awesome in this movie. She played this character to the T. She was so good as Melanie. Like they had like the star power with Glenn Close playing his doctor, but this little black girl did a damn good job. She was so good at this character. But anyway, let me get back to the story. So anyway, when you go inside of the movie, Melanie and these other children are already on this army base, and they're being experimented on by Dr. Caldwell and the people that are there. They're also being guarded by these soldiers. These soldiers that, you know, that are protecting the base, the survivors, and I'm assuming from these kids or whatever. So oh my god, this movie was so good because it gives you so many things in this movie, like the characters and everything. It's so good. Like, I stayed up, I believe, until like 1-2 o'clock in the morning just to finish the movie. That's how good it was. But anyway, like I said, it's based on this character Melanie, and she, along with these other children, were somehow, some way able to survive becoming full zombie. And Glenn Close character, Dr. Caldwell, she is there on this army base to find a cure, and she's experimenting on these kids to find a cure, to find out what is in these children's brain to get them from going full zombie or whatever. And I just want to tell you, like, the producers for the movie 28 Days, in the second part to that, 28 Days Later, made this movie, produced this movie. So, you know, if you ever saw 28 Days or 28 Days Later, you guys know that these zombies are some fast moving motherfucking zombies. They're quick. But what I found interesting about these zombies in this movie is that if nothing's going on, if they're not distracted or they're not feeding or anything like that, they stand still. They don't move. They don't do anything. They stand still. But the slightest noise, a gunshot, a whisper, a sigh, anything will get these zombies moving. And when they do, they're fast. I mean, like, these motherfuckers are running. We come tell you guys, like, if some shit like this ever happen, I will never, ever survive. Like, slow moving zombies, I'm cool with, I'm fine with, but these running type zombies that they got going on in these 2016-17 movies, nah, dog, that can't be a thing. That cannot be a thing. So let's just ever pray. Let's just pray that if this shit ever happens, that it's like back in the day type zombies. They move slow. You can fuck them up and keep on going about your business. That's it. So, but anyway, back to this movie. Melanie, as you go through the movie, Dr. Caldwell realizes that there is something different about Melanie. Like, she's like the other kids, but she's different. This little girl is very, very smart. She catches on. She realizes a lot of things. She sees a lot of things, and she learns. She picks up as she sees or whatever. So her brain is moving a little bit quickly than the other children. But it also found it interesting. I don't know, like, in the book if they covered this, but in the book itself, I'm like, in the movie itself, they never explain, like, how these kids became the way that they are. Like, you got an idea that there was like some type of experiment going on, because when Dr. Caldwell was explaining to Melanie how she came to be and how she was born and stuff like that, you got the idea that there was some type of experiment going on before this outbreak, before this sickness happened within London, and the women that were carrying these children were some type of experiment or something like that, and it didn't go well, and we are where we are at this point in the movie. But the movie itself was really, really awesome. Like I said, this little girl that played this character, Melanie, she was very, very smart, picked up on things. But at some point during the movie, because I don't want to give too much away, just in case, whoever, people want to watch it or haven't seen it or anything like that. But at some point during the movie, the army base gets attacked by, and in this movie, they call the zombies the Hungries. That's what they're called in this movie. But anyway, at some point during this movie, the Hungries attack the army base, and you have like these survivors, including Melanie and Dr. Caldwell. But also there are like a couple of people that were on the army base that teach the children like in actual, classes. But these children are actually like in wheelchairs, like strapped down and all this other mess. And Melanie takes a liking to one of the teachers, which is called, hold on for me while I check this, Helen, which is played by Gemma Arterton. But Dr. Helen, the teacher Helen, Melanie's character takes a liking to her because Helen is the type of person during this outbreak or this sickness or whatever, she's not able to separate these children for what they actually are. Like in her mind, she knows what they are, but to her, they're still children. They're still they're children. But at the end of the day, they're like these. They're these monsters, and I felt like with her character, she wasn't able to separate her feelings about these children to, actually what they are. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, these little motherfuckers was gonna eat you, and that's what it was, and that's what Dr. Caldwell and the sergeant. He was like the sergeant of all the other soldiers on the base. He was trying to get Helen to realize, like, yeah, we understand that these are children, but at the end of the day, these are monsters as well. And if it comes down to it, they're going to eat the shit out of you. So I don't think Helen realized that. But anyway, Melanie's character takes a liking to Dr. Helen. So when this attack happens on the break, Helen, Dr. Caldwell, the sergeant, and along with a couple of other soldiers, and Melanie are able to get away, and they're going to make their way into London to get help, to get food, whatever. They're going to make their way into London to try to do what they got to do to survive, and this is where your story takes off. Like I said, not to give too much away, I just love the dynamics of the film. It was horror without being too blood gory, and with zombies you always have like that kind of like flesh eating thing. You don't get a lot of like gore inside of this movie. You pretty much, I felt like this movie kind of like went towards like when The Walking Dead first started. Like you got the gore in The Walking Dead, the TV show, but you also got the relationships of the survivors, and this is what goes on inside of the girl with all the gifts. You see the relationships. You see how Melanie takes to Helen. Like when something happens to Helen, Melanie is very protective of Helen. She'll go down to her monster instincts, and she will kill you when it comes to this teacher. Like she loves this teacher, and this teacher loves her. And with Dr. Caldwell, I think Melanie also had feelings about Dr. Caldwell, but she also realized what Dr. Caldwell was at the end. Like at the end of the day, I think Melanie realized, like, at the end of the day, this lady is going to kill me. She wants to find a cure, and she will do what she has to do to find this cure, even if that means killing me and the other children. And Melanie, being as smart as she was able to catch on to that, as well with the sergeant. Like the sergeant, he he knew what these children were, but I felt like during the movie, like the dude that played the sergeant or whatever, he started softening a bit towards Melanie, because at the beginning of the movie, I could not stand his ass. I thought he was like the worst. But at towards like in the middle and the end of the movie, you knew that this guy was, you know, he was started softening towards her. And then you found out, like, as Dr. Caldwell was telling Melanie how she came to be, like, it was this sergeant that found all these children and brought them back to the base or whatever. And Melanie was very protective of her group. She protected them against the other zombies. And there were other children, other survivors out there. And they didn't have the smarts or the training that Melanie and the other children had on this base. So Melanie was able to take control of these other children. The movie is just excellent, and the ending was wow. The ending was crazy, because Melanie, being the child that she was and as smart as she was, she realized that these surviving humans are going to kill us, these children, these zombies, whatever. And her thing was like, why should we save the remaining human race? Why should we do that? And that to me was just like, wow. That was mind-blowing to me, because I feel like we as humans, we think we're better than what we're testing on. And it almost always comes out that the test subjects are smarter than us, because they're watching and they're learning and they're picking up things. And this is what Melanie was doing. And Dr. Caldwell realized that, but she couldn't survive. At the end of the day, Dr. Caldwell couldn't survive. She couldn't make it. The movie is excellent. I love the movie. It was so good. I highly recommend watching it. If you have access to Amazon Prime, I highly recommend watching this movie. If it's on Netflix or any other streaming service, if you see it, I highly recommend watching it. It is so good, and I'm so mad that there wasn't, like, I don't know if it was just like just relegated to just being promoted and released in London. I don't know if the movie was ever released in the States. I don't know, but it's excellent. It's so good. So just a really good movie. Just a really well done movie. Every character really went into their roles. They really played the part. But I gotta say, this little girl that played Melanie, she carried this movie. You get the full emotions of a child, like knowing that you're a monster, but you're still a child at the end of the day, because when she's released out into the world, she's trying to like learn, and she's trying to catch on, and you know, Melanie knows, at the end of the day, Melanie knows what she is. She knows what she has to do to survive. But yeah, excellent movie. So I highly recommend it. I highly suggest go watching it. Well done. So that's my thoughts on The Girl with All the Gifts. Go see it. Excellent. That's all I have. So later days, until the next time, later days. Bye.